What's up, guys? My name is Con, and we're back today with more Gearblocks, and today we're going to work on a new engine because I want to build an engine with some torque. We only have the i4, and we built a tank transmission in the last episode, and I got a lot of great comments talking about tank transmissions. A couple things which I thought about. I built one with like gears and 4 different clutches. A few people mentioned that there's some tanks that actually drive just with a differential and a brake on either side, which makes total sense because if you have a differential in the middle as completely open and you brake one side, then all the power goes to the other side, and you can control which track is moving that way. So you can go forward and backwards just by powering the differential forward and backwards with, you know, a transmission that goes forward and backwards from the engine, and then you have your left and right control with brakes. But that also means that your one track brakes, your other track moves forward, your track doesn't go in the opposite direction. Anyway, cool stuff. A lot of people too were mentioning other stuff about the fact that in Gearblocks there's a scaffolding block. So this block here, you can see it's an invisible block, and we have this creation now. And now if I unfreeze the creation, it separates that block, and then I can refreeze it and reattach it. And apparently using this, we can make tank tracks, which I didn't think of, which makes total sense because it's Gearblocks. We could build like a piece like this and then build like, you know, an axle that, you know, allows it to like something like that, right? And then connect a series of links with axles, right? Like, you know, this is a really crude example, but you know, essentially, right, if you do something like this, oh god, I'm dying. Okay, well, you know what? It doesn't matter. There you go, right? Like this is, you know, that's like theoretically a tank track, right? And we just repeat that like a bunch of times, and all those could swivel, right? We could make a tank track, have it run on wheels. I don't know. I got a few comments that talked about tank tracks because apparently I didn't even think about it, but in Gearblocks, people have been making tanks for a while now, and that makes sense. I've sort of avoided going to the Steam workshop, in case you haven't noticed. Gearblocks does have 100% full workshop support, and if you guys want me to do like a workshop best builds video, let me know in the comments down below. But I've sort of avoided going to the workshop because I don't want to like let it influence, you know, my building and my decisions. I like reading your comments and sort of learning as we go, rather than, you know, trying to figure it all out. Anyway, we're going to build a new motor today. I want to try and build a big V12 that revs really low. I was looking up online, and apparently a lot of modern tanks use like turbine engines and stuff, and that's pretty cool. But apparently some of the older tanks used V12s, and I was like, well, that sounds like a great idea, like big V12 diesel. Now, we can't really get a diesel in this game, but I feel like we can make an engine that has its peak power at like, you know, 1300, 1400 RPM or something like that, and then we just, you know, make it rev only up to like 2000 RPM, right? And that's sort of your quote-unquote diesel. And we're gonna make it a V12 just because, you know, why not? So I'm not gonna try and focus too much on covering it up today. I just want to try and get it working, see if we can get it firing, and see what kind of power we can generate from a V12 engine. And then we're gonna try and work on tank tracks at some point in time and get that working out. But yeah, apparently using the scaffolding block and like, you know, actually making a tank track. And then we gotta also like turn off part collisions or something, switch off. I think it's this one. I don't know. There's a way to turn off part collisions because the tank track is sort of just like scrap mechanic will destroy your physics engine when it tries to calculate everything. But apparently you can turn all that off and it's still, anyway, long story short, we'll figure that out at some point. Future episode, tank tracks is coming. But we need an engine to power said tank tracks. So I think we're gonna go with like a V90. I don't really understand. So here's the fun story. In university, I had the opportunity to take a course if I wanted to on engines, on like combustion engines, right? And I never did because, oh, this is interesting. How do I mount? Can I mount this to the? I might have to extend that piece out. There's no scaling on that. I might have to extend it out first. But anyway, I had the opportunity. There was a chance to take a course on combustion engines, and I didn't do it because everyone was telling me like it was a fourth year course, a final year of university in engineering, and everyone was saying that the course had a pass fail rate of like 30% or something like that. So like 3 out of 10 people who did the class actually passed it, and I was like, I'm not gonna take a course that I'm likely going to fail, you know, right before I have to graduate. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like a really stupid idea. Also, I didn't realize that these cylinders are actually still centered. That's kind of cool. That's actually wicked neat. This is going to be massive. Oh my god, these are huge. Like, this is a huge diesel. This is gonna be, okay, each of these cylinders is 2.2 liters apparently, right? So this is gonna be like, already this is an 8.8, is that right? 2.2, yeah. 2 by 2, oh no, it's 2 liters. Oh, so this is an 8 liter. So if we made it a V12, it would be a 24 liter. That sounds right. That sounds good. It's gonna be, I mean, tanks are big, man, right? Like a big tank is a big thing. You know, there's 4, 5, so it's 6 per side, right? Yeah, that's not too bad. This is gonna be I love it. It's gonna be a monster. I can't wait to hear this thing fire up. But yeah, anyway, long story short, I got a chance. I could have taken a course on engines in university, and I didn't because crazy pass-fail rate. So I don't really know too much about combustion engines. Like I said, like I understand the principle of how a combustion engine works, sure, but I don't really know like the nuances of like, you know, for example, why would we use a V90 instead of a V60? I don't, like, I could probably look that up. That would probably be something I should have looked up maybe before doing this video. That would have made sense and been like, hey, like, you know, this is why, but, and had some educational experience for people watching the video. You know, a proper YouTuber would probably have done that and been like, hey guys, here's like an educational experience on how this engine works and blah, blah, blah. But of course, I'm not that kind of person. The other thing, for example, I don't know is how the heck do we do the timings on a 12? I didn't think about that either. So we've got like all these, for example, right? So, okay, hold on. We're gonna pull out the handy dandy script tool because the dev does have tools for 12s. But anyway, yeah, long story short, I keep getting off topic because I'm just distracted by my own inadequacy. But long story short, I don't understand what would be the reason for a V90 versus a V60, for example. Like, why would we do this one at 90 degrees versus one at 60 degrees? Like, what's the benefit of doing a 60 versus a 90 degree crank? I don't know. I'd love to know. If someone knows in the comments, that would be fantastic. I imagine it has something to do with like the dead point because, you know, every cylinder is going to have a dead point where, you know, technically speaking, when every cylinder is perfectly aligned, you know, if you tried to push on it, it'd be dead, right? Like it wouldn't work. But with a V, you kind of eliminate that. Anyway, I don't know the V timings. So let's stop getting distracted here and let's actually get some stuff going. So let's grab the engine tool. This is the thing the dev put. So entire engine, I don't want to set it to it, but I just want to look at what the devs got here for, let's see. So if it was a V12, oh my, how? What? I don't understand. 1, 8, 9, 4, 5, 12, 11, 6, 3, 10, 7, 2. Okay. But that doesn't explain to me, like, how these are supposed to be. You know what? I'm an idiot. I'm gonna do, you know, we're gonna learn together here. I would assume that they would be offset by, like, 360 divided by 1230 degrees, right? Like, each set is, no, it's divided by 6. So it'd be 360 divided by 6. Right? So it would be 60 degrees? Is that like each set would be 60 degree offset? No? Isn't that... I think the dev's got a V12 though, doesn't he? He's got a flat 12. Okay, well that doesn't help me. A flat 12 does not help. You know what? I'm gonna just go with my gut because I don't have any... Well, he's got a V10. Is a V10 just offset? I feel like it's offset by just... Like what are... oh god. I can't even tell. What is this? No, I want to look at this part property. Can I look at this part property? 72 degree offset. 144. 72. 140. This is a... I don't you know what? Oh boy. Yeah, I should have thought of this first. You know what? I'm going to do some Googling real quick and then I'm going to come back with my results. All right, so after some extensive Googling, I've learned that V12 engines are actually like insane, and everyone is just on a lot of different substances when they make V12s, and the firing order seems to be like the most like I just looked up like 5 different V12 engines and they have different crank positions and different firing orders. I looked up one, it's called this one I'm looking at right now, it's called the Curtis C12, okay? And the crank positions are as follows. So this one is up, that one is up, that's correct. These two end ones are up. These ones would be offset by like 120 degrees negative. Is that correct? Something like this. Yeah. Is that, did I do that? Hold on. Nope, sorry, this one's 120 degrees positive. You know, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Boom, done. Okay. So I'm gonna use this one as my example. And then these ones are negative 120 degrees. Negative 120, okay, in the middle. Yeah, so this is, we're gonna go with the Curtis. It's apparently a 1100 cc cubic propeller engine V12, but I don't think it's a diesel, but I don't think these are diesels anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, so there we go. So that's the position they use. So it's one, these two are up, these two are offset by 120, and then these two are offset by 120, right? And then their firing order is yeah, it's like, I don't even know how to interpret. It's 112, 4, 9, 2, 11, 6, 7, 3, 10, 5, 8 that's their firing order. 112, 2, but then the cylinders, okay, if we were to label the cylinders, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's how they, is that right? I don't even know if this site's legit or not. It's just a site that says, here's a bunch of V12s and configure. I love it. It's great. It's called enginehistory.org. Not sure if it's a real site or not, but anyway, we're looking at an old school. I don't even know what the Curtis C12 was. I don't even know what engine it was, what it's from, but it's a V12. It spiked my interest because it's called the Curtis, and I don't know. It looks like it had a relatively simple pattern, to be honest. Mainly with these setups. There's some crazy like engine patterns in here. I don't understand why people ever made V12s. I also don't understand how people actually figured out like these firing orders. It seems like a linear i4 is pretty logical. You know, even an i6 is logical. Some of the V6s, V4s, you know, the firing orders kind of make sense. But when you get into like 12, 14, 18 cylinder engines, everything just gets so ridiculous. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is gonna be cool though. That's exhaust, yeah. This is gonna be sick. We're gonna run both of these into like twin air intakes across the top. And then we're gonna have twin exhausts going out the side. This is gonna look so cool. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so I'm not gonna use his tool to set the firing order because let's just get rid of that because I'm using this this website here. And I'm gonna try and just duplicate that. I don't know guys. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't know what we're doing. Like I said, I never really took courses on engines. Because I didn't want to fail a course in my last term of university. That would have been a really stupid idea. So we're just, we're just going off the seat of our pants here. I love reading your guys' comments because you guys are always seemingly more educated than I am. I'm not going to bother putting an alternator on this just yet. We're just going to put a main flywheel gear on it and get it spinning with a starter. So we'll do that. Which side is this the input? No, that's the driven crank. Yeah, this is the front. So this is the front, this is the rear. So I'll put the starter on this side. And then I think I can, oh, air-cooled fan, that looks cool. Right, engine throttle, we'll do that. Yeah, let's get a starter motor on this first. Starter motor small. I don't know if this is gonna be strong enough to actually start this thing up. It probably won't be, but we'll try it anyway. Generally speaking, I find I'm gonna end up making my own starters. Like, you can use a clutch gear, right? And just clutch gear your starter straight into it. I feel like that's more efficient than using their starter. I mean, a lot of these bigger engines, you can't even start them with the starter is sort of the point. And then this one I think is a 4. Yeah, so that'll go there. So that'll get that started up. Let's move that out. Gonna have to reconnect these. Oh, apparently all these got disconnected somehow. Or did I not finish connecting them? Doesn't matter. We're gonna get this done. They're all connected now, right? Yeah. Perfect. All right, so that should start. We need our centrifugal clutch on the end of this, of course, which will go to our weight. And then I can put a cylinder disc weight there to balance the engine out like before. And then I'll throw some exhaust on this and we'll fire it up. All right, I've hooked up some exhausts and throttles here. So we've got just really simple stuff. Our throttle just comes to the top. You know, they're both just, 2 of them are linked in. Actually, we can turn these both on. Control key F. Idle RPM 500 RPM. It's a diesel. Let's idle it at like 4. Probably should be even less than that. Well, we're gonna try and make it be like a diesel. I know it's not gonna be a diesel, but we're gonna try. But there we go, FF. That's good. And then we gotta basically, I'm gonna paint all our cylinder heads, because that is the way we do that. And then I should also make the frame out of more aluminum. There we go. Let's frame this up. We're gonna, like, eventually if this works, I'll cover this all up, you know, make some panels, whatever, hide the engine. But there we go. So that's all good. So now we got to do our firing order, and like I said, I'm gonna use that diagram again before. So cylinder 1 is here. So we're gonna turn each one on and then set its firing order as we go. So cylinder 1 is this, set it. We're gonna go max RPM 2000 on each cylinder, right? Whoops, not 200, that would be terrible. 2000. Our peak volumetric efficiency 1. Sure, peak efficiency RPM, let's do like 1500, and let's see how this goes. And then firing order, this one's number 1. Okay, so number 2 that we have to fire then is cylinder number 12, which is way the heck back down here. Oh my god, this is gonna be... Wait, what? Why are you not attached? What do you mean throttle not attached? Oh no. Oh, it legitimately just wasn't... That one piece wasn't attached. Okay, never mind. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay, weird. That one piece just needed to be reseated. We're fine. It's okay. Alright, anyway, yeah, this one's number 2. You're gonna do that. Boom, 2000, yes. 1500, yes. And you're firing order number 2. Okay. Now I'm going to repeat this 10 more times following this. So it's 1, 12, 4, 9, 2, 11, 6, 7, 3, 10, 5, 8. Okay, so we don't have an alternator. We do have a starter. All these are fired up, correct? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm gonna save this as the Con V12 with the Curtis C12 firing order. Again, I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me if I'm wrong, but we'll see. And let's see if it fires up. It like wants to, but I don't think it's spinning fast enough. It only spins at 1800 RPM. Okay, it's not, or 180 RPM. Sorry, it's not enough. So let's gear this up a little bit more. Although last time I had, I don't know. Let's see. I had this with bigger gears, and then when it didn't work, like it didn't actually spin it for some reason. I don't understand. So let's try it anyway. See if this fixes the problem. But that should mesh. Yeah. See, now it doesn't have the torque. Yeah, see, this is the problem we run into. The starter motor is doggy doo-doo. All right, got a starter here. Basically key is G, right? And then auto brake. Yeah, let's enable that so it stops revving like crazy. But yeah, key is G, and then we also put the clutch with the key is G as well. So when we turn on the starter, it should engage this clutch. Wait, is the problem I've been spinning this backwards the whole time? Could it have worked with the other starter? No. Okay, so why doesn't it start up? Oh. Probably helps if you turn your throttles on, right? Well, isn't this a fun problem to deal with? I don't know why this doesn't want to start. Okay, let's go idle RPM. Let's just bring that up to 500. Let's stop playing with the throttles. Let's go to 500. What am I? Everything's connected, right? Like, I didn't miss a connection somewhere? They're all connected. The exhausts are all ported out. Like, that's fine. All the cylinders are on. All of these ones are on. Did I just like royally mess up my fire? Like, you don't need fuel unless you're right. And that's the driven. Oh, that's the driven one. Yeah, that's the driven one. Right? What am I, like, am I? Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Oh, it's the auto brake on the starter. It wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't disengaging the clutch. Like, is this not disengaging as quickly? Like, it might not, I might not disengage the clutch even though I let off G. Because, like, this should be spinning at 0 now. Anyway, I went through and changed the whole firing order because on this website, which I don't really know which is real or not, I guess, but there's two different firing order definitions. One says data plate firing order, which is 1, 6, 7, 10, 3, 2, 11, 8, 5, 4, 9, 12. And then the other one is normalized firing order. And I don't know, like, which ones you're actually supposed to follow. All right, I've got both of our engines set up now with displays, and I put identical load masses on them. The graphs correspond to the engine, so left graph is left engine, right graph is right engine. This one, again, is with the data plate firing order, and this one is with the normalized firing order. Not that I understand what either of those things are. They're still both set to redline at 2,000 RPM. Very interesting how right off the bat, this one has a different curve. It's kind of like a smoother curve. This one's more jagged. Are they idling at the same RPM? They are. So why is the scale different? They're both putting out the same torque, same power. Okay, whatever. Okay, well, it's good to know that the data plate firing order gives you a consistent engine. And the non-data plate firing order, the normalized firing order, makes your engine, like, behave as if it's just... I don't understand what it's doing. I don't think that's actually, like, proper. I think it's the game freaking out, because it goes instantly, like, to 100 RPM, like, max RPM, even though there's a weight on it. Okay, good to know. We have to go with data plate firing order. That's so weird. It's so weird to me. Alright, these are also gas engines, not diesel, so I'm noticing too, like, this thing generates 377 kilowatts. So, like, what, 450 horsepower? But I'm gonna just freeze both of these. We're gonna delete this one, because obviously this is, I don't know what the deal is. So I'm gonna look up after this and understand what the difference is between data plate and normalized firing order. I'd love for someone who knows a little bit more about engines to sort of give me a comment and let me know, because I like reading your comments and, you know, learning some stuff. But, yeah, obviously data plate firing order is what we need. I guess normalized firing order, like, normalized in engineering normally means, like, once you've, like, you know, calculated it and adjusted for stuff. I don't know. I don't know what it means, guys. I don't know what it, anyway, the data plate one gives us a smooth curve. The other one freaks out as if it doesn't know what's happening. So we've got that. We're gonna crank this up though. We're gonna bring the RPMs up because obviously, you know, we're just gonna go to 6,000, make this a real, whoops, no, I don't wanna do it with numbers. I'm gonna just go to 4,000. Let's just max this out at 4,000, what the game intends us to do. And let's go back to 2,500. On the peak RPM, peak power, something like that. Yeah, default settings. Let's try it. All right, there we go. Default 4,000 RPM, 2,500. Look at the torque output on that, though. The torque curve. Oh. Oh, it's so much torque. That's good. 650 kilowatts, 1,500 newton meters of torque. Thing's a monster. It's gonna put out so much power. Yeah, this is, okay, that's an interesting problem. Oh, that's because this is going above, it's going above 10,000 RPM now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to like a traditional starter that retracts out of the way because this is going above 10,000 RPM. The game doesn't like axles spinning above 10K, so because this one's spinning at 4, but we're gearing it up, this goes way over 10, and it freaks out. But this thing's sick. This is gonna be a tank engine, even though it's like really high revs. We'll lower it, it'll be fine. I can actually probably do something like this. I had a suggestion in the comments to do this. Take your idle RPM and just increase to 1,000 and then just run it at idle. And let's see what that does. But I don't think at idle it's gonna generate that much horsepower. So let's see. If we're at idle RPM, like if you run your whole tank at idle, all you're doing is controlling your. Okay, there we go. So it generates 10 kilowatts, 118 newton meters of torque. So we'd have to go up to like 2,500. Right, and then even then though, at 2,500, you're not generating a whole lot of torque. It's not until you open the throttle up, you know, and really get the air in there, and then you go up to crazy horsepower levels. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure, of course, you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely gonna have to work on this engine. Now that it works, this is great. I'll put some covers on it, and then we'll throw this in a tank once we get some tank tracks going. We'll obviously have to gear it down, and I'll fix this starter from freaking out. But yeah, really exciting. Don't understand firing order still. Gonna have to work on some other engines as well, like W16s and W12s and stuff. Like, I was looking at some of those as well, because the dev does have a W plate, like right here, W45 beam. So we could make W engines as well. And we got all these radials as well, and there's radial timings that are weird. Like I saw a radial timing that was like 135, or like, it was like 136, I don't know. It went like around, it didn't go just around the circle like in an order like I would expect. It went around like across the circle, made sort of like a star pattern, and you know, there's got to be a reason to it, and I should probably spend some more time understanding firing order in engines. But for now, looked it up, it works, and it's kind of cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you hit those buttons, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.